Hey guys, Christina here. Welcome back to my garden. It is a beautiful day in June and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to bring you around my garden and show you how everything is looking. I want to start here with this plumeria tree. I've got a couple of them over here on this side. They're starting to leaf out and they look beautiful. So I suspect probably about next month they're going to push off these beautiful pink blooms and it really gives me that whole tropical boho vibe over here and I really love that. So down here on the bottom, I have the pink polka dot plant. She's looking gorgeous. I kind of replaced what I had in it before just because I wanted a little bit more color and a little bit more pop of interest. So I'm really happy on how that looks. I planted on along the bottom. I transplanted the candy tuft that I had planted in the shades, the containers in the front yard. They're not looking so great. So I'm going to be a little bit more patient just to see if they kind of bounce back. If not, those are out of here. A lot of fern, a lot of bamboo, heavenly bamboo here on the bottom. I have an aloe plant here, and right here is this gorgeous elephant's ears. So I really love those bold textures over here on this side of the house. A lot of variegated grasses, jasmine. It smells so sweet and just beautiful over here. And I really love how all the smells and the texture is just really cool interest on this side of the house. So a lot more plumeria here, and it just kind of takes it all the way down. Some lilies, some more ferns. So I really kind of get that whole rainforest feel over here on this side of the house. But I want to keep going. I want to show you the peach tree garden area. Okay, welcome to the peach tree garden area. It is absolutely amazing over here. It smells heavenly. I have so much jasmine running along the fence over here and it smells super sweet. I do want to talk about the peach tree, obviously, because it's looking amazing and it's so full and abundant. But first, before we get to that, this is a hot bush here. I just really like how light and airy, and I do like the little blooms that it puts off. It's just kind of these more dried flowers. It's just really an interesting plant, and you guys know how much I love texture. So I'm pretty happy about it. You know, we are kind of talking about maybe reworking this bed a little bit. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how this space develops over time. But down here on the bottom, I have some wild garlic. They put out these really sweet, like periwinkle lavender colored blooms. So that's really nice for the texture, but you don't grow them for the blooms. You just kind of grow it for the texture. And if you have pesto, it's really good for that, of course. So there's some alyssum along the bottom, and I keep my herbs in containers and in pots because I feel like I can control them a little bit, because if not, they just kind of run a little bit wild in my garden. So I have some peppermint and some basil there down below, and a hot bush over here in the corner in a container. So okay, so down below I have 4 iris shrubs. They're kind of offset a little bit. I've got the jasmine just kind of climbing and doing her thing along the fence line. I wish you can smell how amazing it is over here. It's so beautiful. I just love this whole space here. But this peach tree, look at this branch. We thinned this twice already, and this tree is still so abundant and full. I want to show you a little bit closer just how amazing this tree performs for me. Look how full and abundant this peach tree is. It is so impressive. I'm really happy with how everything is looking. Look how big these are. Look at that. I'm so happy. They're almost ready, a little bit longer. Now, Eric and I thinned this tree out twice already, and it looks like we did a terrible job because look how full. There's a bunch of clusters still up there. We did our best, but I think next year we're going to have to probably do it probably 3 or 4 times just to be a little bit better about it. But everything is just looking really great, and the size of the fruit, I mean, look at this compared to my hand. This is exactly why we thin your fruit, because they're really heavy and you don't want them breaking the branches, and it's just better for the tree, and you're going to get a better yield. You're going to get better sized fruit. So you can kind of see how some of them are a little bit smaller than the rest. And then, like I said, like when you come down to these other branches where they're spaced apart a little bit better, they're a lot bigger. So, okay, so when I say I want to rework this area, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at the size of these hibiscus shrubs. They're huge. Yes, we do like the privacy. It is pretty that they do have these pink blooms and these white blooms, but they're very sparse. But what the biggest issue that I have is that it spills over too far from the fence. And I really want to plant down here, and I can't. So when we're looking at the shed here, it just kind of offsets it. I really kind of want something a little bit more symmetry when I'm looking out from the house down this way. So if you guys have any suggestions, please send them our way, because we're not sure what we're going to do, but all I do know is that these are out of here. Okay, this is a direct pathway from the house to the shed. This view is very important to me. This is something that I look at every single day. So how great would it be to be able to look from the house and have more balance and symmetry in this space? What I would really love to do is have whatever I have going on this side of the shed mirrored over here on this side. So this is why these shrubs have to go. They're just too big and they don't give me the aesthetic that I want. So, and I really want to just dress up this area, and I want to plant down here. So that's also really important. So please send us some suggestions down below in the comments, and we really appreciate that. Okay, so in this container, I love boxwoods. This is the winter gem. I love the structure that this gives me. I love the evergreen texture. I'm hoping I can add them throughout my landscape a little bit more. But underplanted, this is the Super Tunia Honey. I'm really big on these tropical warm colors this year. This is an annual for most of us gardeners, but unless you're in zones 10 or 11, they're perennials for you. So you guys are super lucky. This is a big performer for me in the garden, and this just looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, in this container, this is the Proven Winners Blue Sky Lobelia. Absolutely gorgeous. I love these whimsical little flowers that it has. It's just very light and airy. They could take full sun. I have it in the shade, and look how awesome it's doing. So I'm really happy. Okay, this is a Heart to Heart Caladium by Proven Winners. Now, this is an experiment for me. You know, when you go and you buy something online and you're not sure that if you're going to love it in person as much as you did online. So this is that experiment for me. And this is actually a really beautiful plant. It can take full sun or shade. I have it here full shade all day. Really, really happy. So this is something I'm probably going to be doing in next season's experiment. So I'm going to be doing a pretty big project next season, and I really love this plant. It comes in the Heart to Heart series. There's like the red ones, the pink ones. There's so many different varieties, but I love the green and the whites. Okay, this is my poppy. She's looking amazing. I thought she almost died and she came back, so we happy. But coming over this way, I left these calla lilies. I left the foliage up that way because I'm trying to hide the sprinklers that are coming, that are right there. But anytime that I have lilies, I just transplant them and I'll stick them in there. So hopefully one day this is just going to be full of calla lilies. But okay, this jasmine smells amazing. We keep the windows open and you can actually smell it inside the house. It smells amazing. This is a mess. This is a desiccated hot bush. I thought it was going to come back, but you know what? We just decided it's got to go. It has a bunch of just fern underneath it and it's just messy looking. And I would like some more structure, something a little bit more tidy and something that I can absolutely plant underneath it a little bit more. So I was thinking maybe another winter gem boxwood or a hydrangea. I'm not really sure, but this is going to also be on next season's project list. So this is coming out and we're going to rework this small space here. So that'll be fun. I'm absolutely in love with this perennial garden and how everything's looking. I just planted this David Austin Desdemona earlier in the season and it's full of buds. It looks so gorgeous. I can't wait to see those white blooms start coming out. It's going to be beautiful. I will absolutely keep you guys updated as soon as it does. So as soon as it happens, you're going to know. Down below here, this is the Peachy Keen Verbena. And all along the back here, this is the Denim and Lace Russian Sage. See how gorgeous they look? This color is everything this season. I love this coral color. Peachy Keen Verbena Proven Winners. It's amazing. And you can see, look at all of these buds. I can't wait. Full of buds. Yes, so along the back, Denim and Lace Russian Sage. You can start seeing the blooms coming out on them. Gorgeous. Agapanthus Lily. I'm not sure. I think this one's white, but I'm not sure. Purple Wands Veronica. Rock and Play in the Blue Salvia there. And there's a small drift right here of the Serendipity Alliums. They're starting to open up. I can't wait to see those when they're all in full bloom. They're going to be amazing. And I put a little drift of lambsdare there down below. The raised garden bed area looking great. Obviously got to have some jasmine, got to bring those pollinators in. But look, everything is looking wonderful. Okay, on this side, this used to be all giant noble spinach. That is done. And here on these two mounds, these are the Jack B. Little pumpkins. These are going to be growing up trellises. So I'm going to grow those vertically. And in the back there, I've got Ashley cucumbers, and those are going to be grown probably up an A-frame. I haven't decided yet, so I'm just still waiting for those to show. On this side, these are the little finger carrots. End of the month, these are going to be getting harvested. Absolutely need to thin these out again, but they're looking really good. Yeah, not quite ready yet. The hanging baskets on the fence line are looking fabulous. Sweet Caroline, sweet potato vine, super tunia honey. Loving this combination. It's really, really beautiful. These are Walla Wallas in the back. They're not looking like much, but they're not going to because they are one of those crops that really take a long time. I had transplanted a bunch on this side, but they didn't look like they transplanted too well. So I kind of snuck in another pumpkin right there, but we're not going to say anything. How great is this? These are the Kentucky Wonder pole beans. She is wild. She's going to town. We added in these extra little bamboo things just to give her something else to climb on. We're trying to keep it off the fence, but it's just going crazy. I don't see any beans yet, but they can't be far behind. There's flowers all over it, but these are the moose-eye bush beans here down below, and it does have green beans. We actually harvested them the other night, and they're really, really good. Pulling off. They look amazing. So I'm really, really happy with that. I did put some Roma tomatoes in here, but I think I'm going to have to start those more like in seed trays this year and then transplant them out. I mean, I do see them kind of coming up, but they just get eaten so fast. So I think I'm just going to start them and then bring them out for next time because it's not really, it's kind of a fail. This full sun combination that I planted a month ago is looking amazing. I got the boxwood in the back, the lobularia on the sides, and this double yellow calibrachoa. Looking gorgeous. I love the summery pops of color that it's giving me. So it's very happy. This is the gazebo flower bed. I am so excited to share this with you guys. This has been such a fun experiment and everything is just looking amazing. I am blown away by just how abundant and full this area is and just how much color, and we're just super proud of this spot. So the plants that are surrounding me here are the proven winners Vista Paradise and the proven winners Superbina Whiteout. You guys, this is one plant. Can you believe that? It's just absolutely amazing. I just blown away every single day that I come out here. I just stand here in just disbelief on just how prolific these plants are. Just massive performers, just so amazing. And they're starting to kind of intertangle a little bit, and I love that. With how vigorous these plants are, they roughly fill about 2 by 2. So this is a great cost-effective way to fill in space, to add color, just bring all that interest in the drama into your garden without the expensive price tag that can come along with buying flowers. So this is a great way to do it. And I'm just super excited and just so proud on just how gorgeous everything looks. This side of the gazebo gets hit with the full sun all day. That's why they look so big and beautiful. Over here, still really pretty, still beautiful. But you can see that it does get a little bit of shade here during the day. I haven't trimmed any of these one time. And my secret is I water regularly, I fertilize once a week, and I spray preventatively with BT. That's it, you guys. I don't have to deadhead them. They're all self-cleaning, which is my kind of plant. This container here, I started originally with a calla lily early in the spring. So I took that off and I transplanted it in my landscape. Super Tunia Vista bubblegum. So pretty. One plant, you guys. I have not trimmed this container once. There was a bacopa under there, but that's long since passed now. Dusty Miller here and some daisies. Looks amazing. Okay, this cottage garden has been so fun this season. We've just really had a blast and just kind of watching how this whole space was just transformed over this last year. This has just been a lot of fun for us. Down below here, that is a Bobo hydrangea. I picked that up from Proven Winners Direct, and I also got another one. I'll show you in a second kind of where I put that one at, but it's going to be really fun just to kind of see that whole area just fill in. This is a tree that we cut down. It was about, I don't know, like 40, 50 feet, but it was just diseased and it really needed to go. We planted a row of ficus trees here. Let me move over. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. There you go. So just another area just to try to bring some privacy there. This is the Proven Winners Iguana Envy. This This basket had budworms earlier in the season really bad, but it bounced back and it's doing great. I think it just got a little too confident this season and forgot to spray preventatively. But I've been keeping up on it. I think it's still dealing with budworms a little bit, but I come out here every few days or so and spray. And I've got irrigation, I've got drip running to it. So it's doing pretty good. I'm really happy with it. It's been really nice and full. This is a David Austin Olivia. This is her first season and it's adorable. It is so beautiful. I love these cupped roses. They're just so sweet and gorgeous. I mean, oh, they're adorable. So happy. I just love coming out here and they look beautiful. Like even when they're new buds, the ones that are a little bit more age as they start opening up, just very ruffly, very cute. Hello, my ladies. Hey, girls. This little chicken coop flower bed, it's really dusty, but I just love the color that, you know, we get. We've got the little daisies on the end, some lamb's ear. There's some lavender there. The calendula is really taken off. I think I'm going to just kind of have to thin this down a little bit or rework this bed, but I wasn't expecting this to be as wild as it was. A couple foxgloves there in the back. Same thing repeated on the other side. These hanging baskets, this is the second set of hanging baskets that we've had up here. And each time, I think like just different birds or whatever like comes in here and makes a home in them. So those aren't looking that great. But this is absolutely looking amazing. And this limelight hydrangea here in the middle, full of buds. Can't wait to see how this does this season. Surrounded by denim and lace Russian sage. I knew that these were going to fill in and look amazing in their first season. Big performers, looks amazing. I knew that they were going to be a lot bigger and fill in before the limelight did. That's why they're planted a little bit closer. So I think in the fall or the winter time, I'm going to move those and space them out a little bit more because I got to give that hydrangea some room. Bandana lantana, looking like pink lemonade and all things summer, is gorgeous. I love it. The thrift, still looking pretty good. I went through and deadheaded a lot of it, so still looking okay. But I think what I'm going to do next season is I'm going to move these out and really kind of cluster them and do a drift that's a little bit tighter and save the space in front of the stem wall here for more experimental kind of annuals and things to just bring seasonal interest. But I'm pretty happy with it. Cody's pumpkin patch looking pretty good. My dog Sky, she loves the organic matter that's in the fertilizer, so she likes to dig it up, eat it, and roll around in it. So Eric and I put these little bamboo sticks in them just to try to keep her out of it, and so far, fingers crossed, it's been working. She does kind of come up here and do her business, but as long as she's not messing with our pumpkins, I am okay. We've got jack-o'-lantern variety here. It looks like something's already coming up. That's exciting. This one's here. These are the Cinderellas there, and then the Howdens are in the back. Those ones are bigger. The Cinderellas are more of the flat stacking kind. So I'm really excited just to kind of see how this works out. I was going to put some sugar baby watermelons in here, but I ran out of room, and that's okay. Black-eyed Susan, looking beautiful. I have to trim her back pretty often, though. She does get a little wild. I've got the cat's pajama Nepeta down in front. Doing okay. I've sheared it back already, so she's starting to flush back. I'm not sure what's happening with this one. I checked the water. It's getting water, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to wait and see what happens with that one. But the other Bobo that I got is here. So these are roughly about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. So this will be a nice little space here to kind of fill her in and soften up the side of the stem wall. Full of buds. Can't wait to see how those turn out. Raspberries here, bed full of cosmos. So this is kind of a fun, experiment that we're doing here in this raised garden bed. We'll see if edibles, annuals, just open for interpretation, open to whatever we decide for the season. Japanese maple, doing great. This is the blood good. Another limelight, looking great, full of buds. This one's going to get 6 to 8 feet tall and wide, so it's really going to fill in this entire back area. That's going to be beautiful paired with the maple. Okay, with this picket fence panel, earlier in the season, planted the Albright and Rambler and the Generous Gardener. This one died. It never made it. I thought it was going to be okay, but that's just how gardening is sometimes. But the Generous Gardener is doing great. I'm just letting her do her thing, and then I'll start training her to climb the fence line. So that'll be really pretty there. Down here below, Credible Sunflowers by Proven Winners. They had a little bit of shock when we first planted them, but they're bouncing back. And I have high expectations for these. Everyone that I've seen plant these have had great luck. So I'm really happy to see the pop of color that it's bringing to this area, because everything is very muted and soft and pale. So I do really like the yellow. These are going to get about 2 feet, 2.5 feet. So they'll fill in these little spaces a little bit. In between here, I may move some of that thrift and kind of cluster them here, but I don't know. That'll be kind of up for discussion for next season. But everything overall looking great. Along the fence line here in the front is a huge drift of jasmine. Here it's almost flushed out, but still looking and smelling pretty good. Hot bush here, and these full sun containers that I just did recently in a video are looking great. Bougainvillea here in the back, Super Tunia Honey, and Super Bell's Coral Sun. These sunset colors are gorgeous. These 2 pots flank the driveway, the garage door. Looking great. I don't really come up and film this area very often, just for the simple fact it's not a space that I really love. But the good thing is that this is going to be something that Eric and I are going to be working on. Hopefully, fingers crossed, next season, we kind of want to rework this whole area and maybe kind of create some type of a courtyard. So this will be a great way to document kind of a before and after. But this is a giant Chinese elm tree. Keeps the front of our house heavily shaded, which is really nice, but kind of get some root issues and things like that. But keeps this flower bed heavily shaded. And all these plants that are in this flower bed were already here, planted when we first moved in. A lot of agapanthus, ornamental grasses. It's not terrible when everything is in bloom. It looks really pretty. I like the purple, the periwinkle blues, the whites that start showing through. It's actually really nice, but for the rest of the season, it's just texture and foliage and not a lot of color. So this is absolutely going to be a space that we're going to be working on. Tough Stuff hydrangea, looking gorgeous, doing pretty good. Slugs are kind of getting to it. But it was more of an experiment planting it here just to see if it would thrive and do okay. Seems to be doing pretty good. This is it gets a lot of water in here and it kind of gets boggy, but seems to like those conditions overall. Yeah, so a lot of grass, a lot of agapanthus, everything doing okay. Brush cherry ornamentals on each end, spindles here, more agapanthus. But yeah, I mean, we would just love to just completely rework this and just completely make over the entire area, turn it into one giant courtyard. I just think that would be really beautiful. Some of my thoughts in the shade garden, maybe just fill it full of Brennera and hostas and caladiums. I think that would be really beautiful. Maybe a camellia in the back. I don't know. What do you guys think? So absolutely going to need some advice and some input, but the tree is going to stay. This is mostly shaded. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this area? Maybe some hydrangeas there in front of the house. I don't know. It's very open. Well, that's it for today's June garden tour. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me. Make sure you guys check back every month to see what's happening in our garden. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit subscribe and we'll see you in the next one.